Hello, this is In Your Business with UMSL Business. I am Khadijah Johnson, a student at the College of Business Administration, majoring in Media Studies.
And I am Taylor Caputo. I am also a student at the College of Business Administration, majoring in Marketing.
With us today are Dr. Malika Horn, founder and director of the Executive Leadership Consortium, Deborah Burris, the Chief Diversity Officer at UMSL, Ashley Roberts, Assistant Director in the Office of Student Involvement, and Annie Mbale, an international student from Malawi that is currently getting her MBA degree here at UMSL. Welcome, everyone. It is so great to have everyone here today. Our topic is diversity on the UMSL campus. To be more precise, we're going to be talking about organizations available on the university campus for African American students that help to empower and foster diversity and the importance of those for any academic institution. Deborah Burris, we will start with you. UMSL has already been recognized as having one of the most diverse student bodies in the nation. What is the Office of Diversity and Equity doing to widen our spectrum even further?
To widen our spectrum, one of the things that we're very interested in is constantly reevaluating what we do. We're constantly getting data through the sense of our climate study that we did last year, and then we also solicit feedback and input from various organizations because we feel it's important to hear the voices of our community in order to plan what efforts we put into place so that we can be more strategic.
Deborah, is there any sort of liaison between your office and organizations like the Associated Black Collegians, the Black Business Student Association, or the Pan-African Student Association? And how important are these organizations to UMSL diversity?
Yes, we make a conscious effort to connect with these organizations by, again, attending their events, offering support and co-sponsorships when we are, again, made aware of what they're doing. And so we try to be present at a number of their activities in order to show them that we're not only giving lip service to saying we support them, but we show up. And then we also try to disseminate information about their various programs and activities to other members of the campus community, particularly the Black Faculty and Staff Association, so that they also can come out and support these students. And these organizations are really important because they really help students to connect with others who maybe had similar cultural backgrounds that they have, and to help them to connect with the university. And the research has shown that that is very important for students to persist and continue their education when they can connect.
Hey, Ashley. Now, the question is to you. As Assistant Director in Student Involvement, can you tell us why it is important that people join organizations like ABC, BBSA, or PASA? And what would you tell someone that was thinking about joining?
Well, it's important for students at large to get involved because we know that that helps students persist and retain at the university because they're able to quickly find a sense of belonging, they're able to get connected and engaged on campus. And when you were talking about minority student organizations, and particularly these Black student organizations, people are able to often quickly find a sense of culture there where it's a shared experience. And so we don't assume that everybody has the same exact experience, but we know that there are going to be cultural similarities. And that's also why we have these different offshoots. So you'll have Associated Black Collegians, which is for all Black students, but Pan-African Association is really important as well because within the diaspora, we're going to have different experiences. And with Pan-African Association, we have a number of students that are also international students. So they are sharing multiple diverse experiences compared to domestic Black students. And so there's a way for them to overlap, and the groups have really worked the last couple of years at also collaborating. And it gives people kind of a sense of home. So we encourage students for that to be their home base, but we want them to get involved. So when a student is considering getting involved in ABC, we're going to talk about the services and support in the social aspect that ABC provides and the leadership development that they can get out of that. We're going to talk about them having fun as well. It's important for them to have that in school, but people to hold them accountable and encourage them and provide them a lot of opportunities. Like they have a meeting today, and in that I always give announcements about ways they can get engaged outside of ABC. So there's a scholarship here. Monsanto is looking for this for students for this. If you're interested in getting a graduate degree, there's this forum that you can go to. So making sure that it's a launch pad for these students to have success while maintaining a sense of support among students who share similar cultural backgrounds.
Okay, Ashley, from your position in student involvement, What are the benefits that you have witnessed from organizations like these, and what are the members doing for our campus?
I think one of the most critical one is seeing students stay in campus because they have that support. There's a lot of overlap with students who are from low income backgrounds or first generation students, and so they're not necessarily familiar with how to navigate the university, and they don't always know where to go for support. So I get a number of students who are referred to me like, go talk to our advisor because she can help you with this. Students that are sometimes hesitant otherwise to engage with faculty or staff, and so it can really help them get plugged in because retaining them is the most critical, and then watching those students develop from, I'm just a student and I just kind of go to class to I want to get involved in leadership. So an example, Associated Black Collegians takes students every year to the Big 12 Conference on Black Student Government, which is happens at the various schools in the Big 12 Conference. And I've definitely observed students going from like, well, I want to go because it sounds fun to I want to come back and get engaged in ABC. Like as a member, I enjoyed all these things. And even though I heard you talk about it, I really didn't get what it meant to be a leader, but now I want to contribute. And then they see, leadership is not easy, but they want to engage and challenge themselves to grow in that way. So that's definitely something that I've seen. And as far as what the members are doing, again, I'm trying to provide those opportunities because they are in student leadership positions. They receive a lot of information and opportunities to go before faculty or staff or receive awards, but they're often passing that information along instead and saying, what members can we pull in, how can we engage other students and not just hoard the opportunities for ourselves, who else can we think of? So when they do dinner with 12 Tritons with the African American Alumni Association, for example, it's not only the executive board getting those opportunities, they have limited that, and this year they extended it because Black Business Student Association came back on board to say, well, let's give some of those spots to BBSA, and we'll only have 3 of our exec board members go, and then only 3 of our general members, and the other spaces get to go to BBSA. And so I think that's really important that they're making sure that their peers are getting plugged in and having opportunities, and when they have those challenges, also getting to the proper support so that they can stay here or get the assistance that they need to thrive.
So for all of you to answer, what would be the benefit of more organizations such as ABC, PASA, and BBSA? And do you think that UMSL needs more organizations like this?
Well, I would say fully I would support additional organizations because, again, as was kind of mentioned already, the connectedness that they form in terms of feeling connected to the campus, the impact that it has on their persistence and ultimately graduating, because we want them to graduate. A number of our students, because they are first gen or may have financial challenges, sometimes they don't finish. And so the more connections that we could have for our students to the campus, the better. And as Ashley mentioned earlier, the leadership development. That's an important part of the college experience, is having an opportunity to serve in an organization that you make the decisions, that you run, because those will be skills that they will use in their careers, no matter what field they go into, as well as in their community, because we're also training community and citizens to be leaders of their communities. And so therefore the benefits that you have, whatever those connections may be, whether it's the Black business students, we also have a minority student nurses association, so those individuals connect in the healthcare field. And so the more you have, to me, it benefits. And then also too, from time to time, we have students that are not minority that also participate in these activities. It provides an opportunity for them to interact with someone from a different culture, a different background, because again, these are going to be skills that they're going to need no matter what career they go into, whether they become a teacher or whether they become a scientist. They're going to need to know, and we want also students to leave our campus prepared to interact with anyone, whether they're from another country or from South St. Louis or from the East Side or whatever. We want them to be successful in integrating and working with folks from different backgrounds and different cultures.
And I would say that these are external organizations, but I hope that, and I'm sure that a lot of these learning experiences spill over into the classroom. Being an alum decades ago, that's where I think the real practical knowledge and understanding of how to negotiate your environment, how to navigate this university, is also important how to navigate and negotiate outside the university. So I hope that faculty and staff, everybody is attuned to the importance of cultural diversity. Not just one ethnic group, because cultural diversity includes a lot of different cultural groups. It includes women, people of color, socioeconomic status, disability, veterans, on and on and on. So we should be really aware of all of these different groups and what they need in order to succeed.
There's a thing that I believe in, it's called diversity is the spice of life. As the international student leader here at UMSL, I think that we need more organizations that represent each background. I've worked with a lot of students like Indian Association, going to their events, African Association, I'm even like the underground advisor right now, seeing them that they're doing something that represents their culture and they're sharing with people who have never experienced their culture. It's something that UMSL needs right now. Every day, I guess. I also feel like these organizations give students a platform where they can feel like they're at home. It's a home away from home, in my opinion, because it's not a lot of people who are going to understand what it means to have plantains made the way they're made in their country. That's just an example. So I feel like, we need more of those.
I definitely agree that we could use more of the organizations, but it's really critical that we have infrastructure to sustain and support those organizations. And the Office of Student Involvement, of course, provides a lot of student training and leadership development. But when we're looking from the broader spectrum of the university, when it comes to the funding mechanisms and things like that, we have to show with our dollars that we support co-curricular involvement, because we can have 15 more organizations added on, but if the organizations, the Office of Student Involvement doesn't have the allocations to support those student organizations when they're asking for funding, then it won't really matter because they're not in a position to actually thrive. And so that's a really critical point, is to go above, our office or even Deborah's office and say, how is the university supporting the co-curricular involvement of students with the dollars, with the strategic plan? Where is that actually showing up in our language and in our actions?
Alrighty, and Dr. Deborah Horn, what can you tell us about the relationship between student organizations like BBSA, PASA, ABC, and the Executive Leadership Consortium?
Well, first let me say that the Executive Leadership Consortium reaches out to all students, regardless of ethnicity or any other culturally diverse identity. But I will say that for the BBSA, which is our latest Black student, it was revived. And these groups in particular, I was just reading an article about needing a sense of belonging. That even though, like Annie may be from a foreign country, but there are subcultures, groups from different subcultures that come on campus that are not always familiar with how to be successful in a predominantly white institution. And so all of us being aware of how we can do more to be warm, be welcoming, to understand that there are differences that we need to appreciate, that the uniqueness leads to the strength of the university. The more we understand that, the better.
Yeah, wow, that's great. And what can you tell us as the director of the ELC, what are some ways in which African American students could make their voices better heard around campus, and what advice would you give them?
Well, first, do well in your academics, because this is more like a workshop or a laboratory for life. And to remember that you're preparing yourself for the future. This is important. There's nothing going to be more important, as far as I'm concerned, as being a college student. But after that, the challenges get even more stiff. It's real competitive. There is leadership in diversity. So I think that in addition to your career, because that's what we do at the Executive Leadership Consortium, we prepare students to be successful in their profession. But no matter what profession you go into, we should be preparing students for to understand and how to negotiate a multicultural world, a multicultural environment, and it's going to be more and more that way. So we're going to have to be familiar with our own culture, but we have to be familiar with other cultures too. So we have to expose ourselves to different types of cultures, different types of people, to learn different languages, to travel abroad, to be a part, to have friends that are not necessarily part of your cultural group. All of those things are important, and I'm sure everybody's doing that already, but I would like to emphasize that even more.
Yeah. For Dr. Horn and Deborah Boris, as far as diversity and inclusion are concerned, how much has the campus changed since you started here?
I came to this campus in 1991. I've been with the university about 35 years. I've worked on the other campuses. And initially, when I came, it was the Office of Equal Opportunity. And so the focus of the office at that time was on compliance. And so we still do the affirmative action plan, but it was more about compliance, making sure we were obedient to the law and counting numbers. How many faculty of color that we have? How many students of color do we have? How many internationals? How many individuals with disabilities? Well, what I've seen over the last several years, I've seen more of an effort to move toward the inclusion part of diversity, to make sure that not only do we have, quote, representation from different groups, but making sure they are engaged, because that's critical. It's more, you can have folks here in terms of numbers, but if they're not contributing, whether you're talking about faculty, if they don't feel a part of the university in their research, in their service, and connected, we've still lost the battle here. Mm-hmm. And so there's more of an effort to make sure that inclusion is a big part of this campus and the work that we do. We also, too, I've seen over the years more on the part of the faculty to make sure that diversity is being woven into the curriculum. So that, when we had the issues of Ferguson and some other things that have happened, more faculty are taking advantage of those opportunities to address issues of diversity in race and gender. And so we still have a ways to go, but I've seen more of a movement to faculty recognizing that diversity needs to be interwoven in the curriculum that they're teaching. The College of Nursing, they're doing more to help students know how to provide nursing care to diverse patients. Because again, when you get a patient, they may speak a different language, they may have different cultural norms, and so the things that you have learned, you need to know how to adapt those services to that particular patient that you're serving from a different background. So I've seen more of an effort to make sure that diversity is included in what we do in the curriculum, in the academics, and that aspect, rather than just affirmative action and we need to make sure we're compliant. We still are working to comply with the law, absolutely, but there's more of an intentional effort to make sure those things are interwoven in the work that we do. We also are seeing more attention being paid to the contracting that we do, the dollars we spend as an institution. Are we spending some of those dollars with minority contractors, with women-owned businesses, with veteran-owned businesses? So there's more of a conscious effort to make sure that diversity is a part of our fiber, part of our total university fabric.
And Annie, you're a current student here at UMSL. Why did you choose UMSL, and what are the organizations you belong to?
I chose UMSL because of the IB program, but my decision was made to life, I guess, for the lack of a better word, when I came for the UMSL Day. And I came to America and I went to a junior college which was predominantly white. So when I visited UMSL, seeing the diversity here, and I was like, okay, I'm making a decision. So that was the day that I signed everything. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna visit any more schools. This is my school. I made a decision. That's the reason why I chose UMSL. When I was undergrad, I was very much involved. I was the IBHS President, International Business Owner Society. I was Pan-African President. I was part of the International Business Club. I was part of the International Student Association and Vice President of Modern United Nations. But right now, I am part of BBSA, Black Business Student Association, and I am proud to say that I'm the person who helped bring it back. And I couldn't be more happier to bring it back.
Wow, you really dive in. That's amazing. Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually also chose UMSL because of how diverse it was, because I went to a school that was predominantly white, and that's just not how the world is,
Exactly.
We're all one, That's amazing. And so why did you decide to join all these organizations?
Well, I like to network with people, and I knew that there was no way I could network without being involved in an organization. So when I was at the junior college, I was very involved. I even was the president of the whole Missouri Student Government Association. So when I came to UMSL, I knew that there was no way I could meet friends just being in the dorms. I had to go somewhere, and I'm a good student. I think I try to believe that. So I knew that I need to practice the skills that I'm learning in the classroom, and the only way I could do that was by being involved, by running for president, to be exact. So that's why I was joining all these organizations, and everyone needs something to put on the resume. So I knew that, okay, saying that I'm the president of this is gonna look good on my resume. So that's the other reason why I joined. For Pan-African Student Association, at first I didn't want to join because I didn't want to be involved because it was more disorganized. Then it died, and it made me angry that my own organization died. So I bring it back. That's why I got more involved with Pan-African Student Association.
Wow, that's amazing. You seem really good at networking too. I know you said that was one of the reasons, and a resume booster is always nice. And so how have these organizations changed your experience at UMSL, and would you change anything about them or your experience?
They have changed my experience in a lot of ways. I remember there was a time I was really struggling, and I was lucky enough, I was part of the executive leadership consortium. So I would go to Dr. Malaika Hone's office all the time to just talk. And honestly, it was one of the things that helped me to go through that semester. I didn't know how I was going to survive, but going there, just talking and leaving her office feeling confident again because of the things that she would say, the things that she would teach me, it's one of the things that I always encourage students to be involved. I'm like, look, sometimes you don't have to run for president. Just be part of it. You're going to find somebody you're going to connect with. They're going to help you out, go through this college experience. The other reason they have changed my experience that I came here English as my fifth language. So being a non-English speaker, English has become my third language because I've been talking to people. I talk a lot. So it has helped me, like talking to people who speak English, the Native American, like not Native Americans, the Americans who either black, white, or whatever, who know the language more than I do, has helped me to improve my English, not just by writing, but also speaking. I'm able to give speeches now without even, reading through the PowerPoints and everything, just because I talk to people a lot. I learn like, you can't use this word, you have to say it in this way, because English is a tough language, to be honest.
Yeah, wow. You're very good at speaking it and just speaking in general. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
So that is all the time we have. So we'd like to thank everyone for joining us for the UMSL Business podcast. It was great talking with all of you about the importance of diversity on campus and all the programs we have available for African American students.
And this is a great way to get involved on campus and a great way to spread awareness about all that UMSL has to offer. Thank you so much, and please follow us on UMSL Business on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.